We have a lot to do today. This is the 1986 Dodge Diplomat that we got running in the previous episode. If you want to see it, it'll be in the top right now. Make sure you go check that one out before you come back to this one. But this video is going to be fun. We're going to try and make this thing actually drive down the road. In the last video, it ran, and the transmission seemed to work. We had 4 flat tires that just kind of didn't really do anything else after that. And I want to see if we can drive it. We got brakes to do. They started sticking on us. The exhaust is completely stopped up. And we got to see if our coolant system will hold after our freeze plug fix. Now we've got a lot of stuff ahead of us, so I hope you guys enjoy this video and stick around to the end to see if we can actually make this thing hit the road for the first time in 25 years. We had this terrible exhaust here with catalytic converters out the wazoo, terrible tiny little pipe, and everything that's just garbage. And I decided let's just go ahead and cut it right here. Brian's talked me into doing some bad things right here. He's our resident Malaise era expert on Mopars, so we're gonna cut this off and just do away with everything back there and pinch off this whatever garbage tube this is and have a race car, because open exhaust is good exhaust, right? I like this technique. Any better? I don't... Please don't hurt yourself.
Too late.
I feel like this is every high school kid's dream. Have an old V8 and just cut the muffler off of it.
I'm so guilty of doing this. Going over axle.
Hey, look at that. Custom exhaust. It's a 2-man job. There you go.
No, it did not.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that's free flow right there. That's race car stuff. Look at that. That's weight reduction too. Don't need any of that.
Yeah, that's about 50 pounds right there.
Heck yeah. So we're not sure if the throttle is actually engaging fully, so Brian's gonna mash the pedal all the way down. Oh no, it's like, that's only like half. Do it again. So I got...
It feels like, it's like you're barely tipping in.
Yeah, that's, we need to, yeah, the cable's way out of adjustment. Let me fix that real quick. We're gonna undo this bolt here and slide the whole cable back, and that should fix it. All right, do it again. Look at there. Now we got all the engagement, so she should be a ripper now. Let's see what she does. Come on, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Woo! That thing idles so smooth. Wow. That was, yeah, that fixed the car.
That don't sound bad at all.
Look at that. It's not even like shaking or anything. That's so smooth. Man, she sounds beefy. No, it's actually pretty calm.
Just a good muscle tone, like a good bass tone.
I think that helped its idle too. It's quiet now. I mean, it was kind of jittery at first, but now it seemed like it calmed down. Wow. Woo! Remember how this car would not move under its own power? I thought the brakes were locking up, and they weren't. As you can see, what my guess is when I mashed the pedal as hard as I did, this caliper decided to lock up. And it just so happens that we are actually going to rebuild the brakes because I want to drive this car. So we're gonna take the wheels off, get everything sorted out, and I wanna see if we can put this thing back on the road today. Alrighty, let's see. Ooh, some loose steering. All right, wheel. Wheel. Now is not the time to get stuck. Excuse me? This is just unnaturally stuck on here. These wheels are literally designed for this car, like this car right here. These are police wheels. And for some reason, it's not wanting to come off. There we go. Wow, that was scary. Just for a minute, it was scary. Whew, what happened? A little rusty in here, I guess. Okay. Yep. She's locked up tight. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good at all. Everything looks okay though. It's all here. Let's get some parts off. Let's relieve some of that pressure. Little PB blaster. There's a ton of material left on these brakes, so there's a good chance they were either rebuilt recently, and I mean recently as in miles, not time. So it probably was a long time ago. Get it over there. Easier said than done, huh? Okay, you want to play this game? Looky, looky. Yeah, they're fancy red pads. That surely isn't factory, is it? Oh, that one's stuck. Uh-oh. Will you play this game with me? Okay, there we go. All right. Wow, those were literally just about brand new when they were put on. Here I am, taking it all back apart. Got good movement out of the wheel bearing. That's good. Nothing inside there, but we have everything new. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Looking good, my man. Just what we like to see around here. Clean spindles, ready to be put back together. That makes life a heck of a lot easier. You were in the live stream. If you were here Monday night, hope you guys are right here. Check all the comments out. Look at everybody going through here. Appreciate you being here. We're gonna start trying to do this every Monday night, hopefully. Oh, look at there. Dark Ruby 94 just gave $5. Appreciate that. We have all the brakes completely removed, and we've got new rotors to go back on. So if you guys want to see more content as far as what you can expect, check out the live streams on Monday nights. We're going to try and do those around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time, just depending on how my schedule's looking. But check that out. We got this is professional. This right here is professional. I hope you guys understand that. So let's do some brakes. And there we go. Boy howdy does that look good. I love me some brand new brakes, especially on an old car like this. Now, we got the front brakes done. I just did the other side as well. We gotta move to the back. Love drums, just love them. They're just, well, they're finicky sometimes. We're gonna get it done. And once we get that done, guys, we can probably actually drive this thing legit this time. Like actually use it. That's exciting. Let's pop these wheels off, see what we got. This is why I always say buy one of these hardware kits that comes with springs and all the locks and such, because this thing had the adjuster cable broken. It's completely gone, and this spring that holds the bottom of the shoes together, it's broken and gone. So this is what you deal with when you're working with, 40, 50-year-old brakes. Things break. So that's just how you go. Get you a $5, $10 pack of springs and everything and all the hardware, and you're good to go. A big part of this build is making sure we have the right wheels and tires going down the road and looking the part. And that's exactly what I have here. These are factory Chrysler police steel wheels. Now I put these on a lot of cars because I just love them, and they're a factory 15x7, but they got these fancy little kidney bean shaped cutouts for extra cooling when you're going 120 miles an hour. We got provisions for a center hubcap, and then they just look the part. There's already got a decent coat of paint on it. I've scuffed these up, I gotta clean them up, and then we'll hit them with some of this paint. This is Duplicolor Satin Black. It's easy to apply and it makes sure that you will have a long-lasting finish, and I like the way this stuff turns out. I've used it on a lot of stuff, but satin is probably my favorite. I don't know what it is, I just love satin black. So we're gonna paint these wheels up and put them on the car. Woo-wee, look at those. Man, that looks good. We did 3 light coats and then 1 medium coat as per the instructions, and by golly, these things turned out looking good. Now we're gonna let these things dry, and we'll go back to working on the car, and once they're ready, we'll put some tires on. So the wheels are on. I've mounted these tires. These are 235/75 15s. They may not fit, but they sure do look good. That's a little close. We've got air shocks in the back, so I can at least jack it up if I need to. If I have to trim the wheel lip, I don't care to do that. But what I do have here is this. These are the Wright police car hubcaps. These are stainless steel. They've got the holes in them, and they look pretty cool if you ask me. But these are like the best hubcaps I have laying around, and it's gonna go on this car. But what I gotta tell you though, the reason I'm even filming this is that these things make the most satisfying pop when you actually mount them to the wheel. Let's take a listen. Oh, rings the ears just a bit. It's perfect. Brakes are done. We've got wheels and tires, and we have a pedal. I don't see anything leaking. I bled everything last night, so I think we're okay. I think we can at least take it for a drive now. Now, I did order a fuel tank, but I didn't make it here in time, unfortunately. So I've rigged up our fuel can here with a bungee strap, so it's nice and safe. You know, that's how they do it, you know, if you want it to be proper. And we've got the electric pump under the hood running the thing. I'm gonna try and drive it. I'm gonna see if everything works this time. I'm gonna back it off the lift, fill it up with some coolant, and we're gonna see if we can go down the road. I just fired this thing up and the radio started working. It never did that before. Can we get anything? Huh? Any channels at all? Let's see if we get this here. I'm not hearing anything, but the radio at least seems like it's working. Wow, that's new. We are outside for the first time under its own power for I don't know how long that thing's been sitting. I mean, I'm assuming 25 years, and it just drove out of the shop by itself. So that is fantastic. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to see if we can hit the road with it. I got to take the light bar off because that thing will fly off if I go any faster than 20. And I just want to see what we can do with it, man. I'm excited about this car, and I hope that the temperature gauge works, because that would be not fun if it just geysered. At least while it's outside, we can admire how good it looks. I mean, I do want to repaint this thing, but man, does it look cool. Check out the old steel wheels and hubcaps shining. Oh, man. Those are used tires, but they look the part, so that's all that matters. Man, does it look good. You can see here I did a little test spot with just some paint that I had, just to kind of see how it would look. I think I like that, so I would want to do the whole car where it's black, in black, and then where it's white, in white possibly. If I can't buff the paint and clean it up a little bit. The roof definitely needs to be repainted, so might as well just do the rest of the car, because it's only, you know, 2 extra doors and then the roof, so it's not that big of a deal to paint it. But it looks really good. I mean, it's really getting the police car vibes now that we have the right wheels and hubcaps. We got the light bar that needs to be the right color, but it's not yet. We need to put some kind of spotlight. I've got one, but it's broken, or at least the handle's missing off of it. We could stick it in there for the look at least, but it doesn't have that completely. There's a hole for it though, so we need that. And I want a push bar. So if anybody out there has a push bar for one of these cars, they're hard to find, but if you have one, I want it. I would love to put one on this car. And then of course the factory police spec gas tank looks really good. I don't know if these logos here are telling, but maybe we need a fire extinguisher. But yeah, man, I love it. I love it. Well, folks, we almost had a successful drive, but look here. We've got a bypass hose that decided to split. So that's not gonna be fun. That's gonna keep us from driving right now. I'm gonna go see if I can find one of these bad boys, change that out, and then fill it up with coolant. The last video we had this heater hose give us issues, and I tightened it up, so I'm hoping that that's no longer a problem. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I hope not. All I want to do is just fill this thing up with coolant so I don't have to, you know, pedal it for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time. I want to drive it. I want to drive it. Oh, yeah. That bad boy is not going anywhere. Check out that. That's where it split, and as soon as I took the other side off, it just fell apart. This whole thing was brittle, and it was ready to go. I hope this radiator holds. Build up some temperature real quick, try to open that thermostat, circulate any kind of coolant through the block, and just check for leaks real fast. I'm getting really excited. I gotta slow down for a second. Well, not too sure what just happened there. I was trying to adjust the timing, figure out a high idle. I can't find a vacuum source that's leaking. I don't know, and I don't even see a way to adjust the idle screw. I mean, it could be a base plate for all I know at this point. But while I'm doing that, the thing's just starting to get hot, like really hot. You can hear the thermostat like just bubbling over. And on top of that, the upper radiator hose just all of a sudden swelled up and got a pinhole in it. That's new. So I'm just gonna let it calm down for a minute. I'm wondering if our thermostat is refusing to open, because that upper radiator hose is swelled up to the point where it is just like a brick. So I'm gonna just kind of let this thing calm down and get its bearings, get a grip on reality, and we'll come back and probably just remove the whole thermostat altogether. I don't know, guys. That's a weird one. That is a very, very weird one. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Yeah. Woo. Okay, that thermostat, it's questionable. I mean, there was stuff flowing past it, but not enough, apparently. It's open. Yeah, it's open. Well, that's not good. The thermostat's opening and it's still running like doo-doo. I don't know what could be the problem here. It doesn't say the temperature on it, but it doesn't look all that great. I mean, it's got some RTV kind of built up on the sides, but I don't think that's the problem, guys. Unfortunately, I don't think that's it. But we can take this out and just kind of put it to the side. I'm wondering, why is it pink? Why is the coolant like frothy and gross? I don't know, guys. This is interesting. I just hope the oil doesn't look the same. No, the oil doesn't look like that, so that's good. Regardless, we're still going to have to get an upper radiator hose, and then I'm just going to put it without a thermostat at all, and then just see if that helps anything. Yeah, it's leaking. Let's just fire it up and see what happens. All right then. Oh, is the timing still goofed up? Yeah. Let's just advance that real quick. What is your deal, man? Oh God, still terrible. Figure it out, man. Am I going the wrong way? Will that help you? No, that's too much. That should help. Because that would be not fun if it just geysered. whatever this pink goodness is, I don't know, man. It's ruining everything, seems like. Okay. Ah! Well, folks, we have officially killed the battery. And it's still bubbling up at the thermostat. And it's flowing. But is it flowing from the radiator? It has to be, though, because it's moving coolant. It's just whatever this is not normal. And it almost seems like oil. I can't mess with the timing because I'm pretty sure it's controlled by the computer. So I can set the base timing. But for some reason, that computer is just adding all the timing. And I've sprayed all sorts of stuff trying to find a vacuum leak. I have not found one at all. I mean, I did find a couple, but I plugged them and they fixed themselves. But still, there's a high idle situation and coolant is just puking from every spot that it possibly can. Wait a minute. No, it can't be. No, there's no way. I was about to say, is it the transmission cooler? But it went. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yep. There's our problem. Ah, are you joking me? Are you joking me? How? I need a moment. I'll be right back. So something is going on, and what I'm guessing is that the radiator is probably split or busted somehow, and it's mixing coolant with transmission fluid, and that's getting in the engine, and then all that fluid is also getting in the transmission. So the whole thing is just bad. Everything is not okay right now, and my feelings are a little bit hurt because we were this close to taking it for a drive, and that's why it couldn't stay cool. It just could not flow that, and it was like freaking out because like this is not just coolant, this is transmission fluid at the same time. So it's a bit of a bummer. I would drive it up and down the road, or at least in the driveway, but the transmission's full of water at this point too, and it's just not worth hurting this thing any worse than it already is. But if you think we're done here, you are sorely mistaken. Let's go talk about what we had planned, regardless of this engine's health. Were you guys going to tell me that I had like dirt and junk all over my face? Like I've been walking around for an hour like this and had no idea. Like I was about to actually go get some parts, and thank goodness I looked in a mirror, but you guys weren't going to tell me anything. Like you just going to let me walk around like this? Not very nice. The 318 runs, and it runs decently enough, but it's one thing. Boring. I don't like it. It's an asthmatic 318 that really is down on its luck, and it probably doesn't have 150 horsepower to claim to its name. What I have in mind .360 Magnum. I've got one, low mileage, already ready to put in the car, just need some upgrades, such as a camshaft, maybe headers, and maybe a good intake for sure. We want to convert it to something other than the factory fuel injection from the Magnum in the late 90s, and this car would be perfect for that. So what we need to do all that to convert it would be electric fuel pump, because the Magnum does not have provisions for a mechanical, and add that somehow to our existing tank. And on top of that, we need a full return system, so return style. What I'd like to do is run some kind of fuel injection. Now why do I want to run fuel injection? Turbo. Yes, I've never done a turbo build in my life, I would love to try and figure out some kind of forced induction on this car, because at the end of the day, it's not gonna matter if it's got a 318 in it, or a 360, or I guess a Briggs & Stratton motor, as long as it's cool and makes a lot of noise. And that's what I want for that thing. I want it to be reliable, which is hard to find these days, but we can do that. Now we're probably looking for, if we made, gosh, this is a tough one to hold myself to. I would like to make 500 to the wheel. I don't know how possible that is, so let's be conservative. Let's say 400 horsepower to the wheel. That's perfectly doable with a forced induction setup. We're gonna figure out the transmission, which would be probably with a shift kit, and we'll probably need some kind of torque converter. But that's totally doable. I have one on standby. So this is our main goal. The rear end's already an 8 1/4. It's an open, so we'll need to weld that up. So weld up the rear. Just throw that to the side. Or we can add a locker and be smart about it, or not care at all and just re-gear it. And there's a lot of things on this board that will take a lot of initiative here, but we'll need some kind of fuel control, timing control. So I want you guys to drop in the comments what you guys would recommend as far as a fuel and timing control. Those are the most important basics right there. We do not want this bad boy to go lean. We don't want to be blowing the piston down inside the block. This car is already ready as far as like suspension and brakes, because it's all police car, like I was mentioning. The car is overbuilt for the era, but it's underpowered, and that's where it's lacking. So if we rebuild the brakes, and maybe shocks, and maybe bushings if we need it. Hopefully we don't, but we'll check like sway bars and stuff like that. But I think this is basically what we have to do to get this thing going where we need it. We'll revert back to this list to maybe make some changes, maybe make some upgrades, or just mark stuff off and call it a win. So we want to basically get rid of this right here. The fact that it is currently powered by nothing but boringness. Yes, 318s are awesome, I love them, but that thing is just another police car. We want to be a little bit out of the curve and a little bit something different and wild. So here's our list. And here is our engine. Don't even look at this. This is for a different build altogether. Pretend it's not there. This is a 360 Magnum that supposedly had 50,000 miles on it. It was in a late 90s, early 2000s Ram. The truck was wrecked, and that's how I ended up with it. Bought it off Marketplace for like 500 bucks. I've had it for a few years, and now is the time to finally use it. It's got an NV 4500, I believe, granny gear. That's gonna go. Need to get rid of all that. And architecturally speaking, the engine's basically the same. The big difference is the cylinder heads, fuel injection, serpentine setup up front, and those are benefits. I mean, we have all this right here. We've got updated alternator. Everything is more compact, easier to work on. We'll have to change the intake, obviously, but we've got a roller cam, better flowing heads, closed chambered heads, and better compression to start out with. So altogether, the engine basically already has 100 more horsepower, stock for stock, to start out with. So it's already got a better foundation to begin. So this is why we're going with the Magnum engine, and we're going to toss the old junky 318. Well, that was a hard-fought battle. The transmission really doesn't like the pull. I mean, I don't blame it because it's full of water. The engine's also full of transmission fluid and water, and so it's a radiator, transcooler, all the lines. Everything is full of water and transmission fluid where it shouldn't be. I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm fine, I'm happy. We know the brakes work for the 20 feet I drove it. And on top of that, we have a clear course ahead of us. We're doing a turbo Magnum build, and I think it's gonna be fantastic. So next week, we're gonna detail, going through the new engine, making sure it looks fine, and check that out on Friday. Monday afternoon, around 5 or 6 p.m. Central, we'll be doing a live stream, so you'll get an update as far as what's going on in my world, but it's live, and you'll get to see that, kind of unfold in Friday's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Set your reminders for those videos. like, subscribe, notifications, please turn those on so that way you don't miss any more of the Dodge Diplomat build. And on top of that, t-shirts. Order your merch down in the link below. Anything you guys buy goes directly back into cars like this. So I greatly appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome, and without you, none of this would be possible. So again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.